PowerPoint because I'm not smart enough to use PowerPoint, and I always have to speed through because I forget to change them. But I'm going to talk for about 15 minutes. I'm going to talk about my thoughts on disruption in general. I'm going to talk about the channel in general. And then I'm going to introduce our panel of esteemed ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to take what I talk about at a little deeper level. But because I don't do anything normal, I have up here with me somebody that was born in the late 1400s. He's here in spirit. He was a prince. He wrote the handbook for the prince. And in 1513, Niccolo Machiavelli said this: "There's nothing harder to take in hand, more peerless to conduct, or more uncertain in its success than to take the lead in the introduction of a new order of things. Because the innovator has for enemies those who have done well under the old condition, and lukewarm defenders in those who may do well in the new." And 600 years later, I just love that quote. Because the innovator has four enemies, those who have done well under the old conditions, and lukewarm defenders in those who may do well in the new. And if I asked everybody in here, are you ready for these innovative times? Everybody would say, yes, amen, Ray, right? We're ready for innovation. We have change management. And I believe in 2019 that change management is a reaction. And we need to stop having change management. We need to change it to modification management. Because modification management is a process. And innovation is a continuous process. And if a way to describe that is change management to me is surgery after you have the heart attack. Modification management is eating the right foods, doing the right exercises, modifying the behaviors along the way because you know you could have the heart attack and you prevent it. And today, in the imaging channel today is not going to be innovated because we put a whole bunch of apps on an LCD panel. The innovation in the imaging channel is not going to be about watching the basketball game while you're making copies. The innovation in the imaging channel is going to be about a process that a new innovator comes and disrupts the hell out of your great relationships as they deliver a better experience. And I want to talk about my thoughts on that better experience. Staples bought DEX. Some people say, what the hell's next? That was an infrastructure change. We took two deliverables and brought them together. We also took the pull economy and merged it with the push economy. And today in the imaging channel, we cannot sell online because we have rules that say we can't. And I don't think that Staples and DEX are going to abide by those rules. And we have to figure out, as a channel, what are we really doing and how are we delivering to our customer? Because I believe it doesn't matter what your product is or what your industry is. What you deliver to the customer is the puzzle pieces you make of it, and you fit it in the customer frame for today. And I believe what we're doing today is we're taking our puzzle pieces from 5 years ago, and we're jamming them in the customer's frame for today. If they don't fit, we get a hammer, we try to bang them in there. That's a product-centric mentality. And a customer-centric mentality takes all these puzzle pieces, and they try to figure out, how are we going to fit them in the customer's frame today? So we're going to take a little detour here, talk about my friends at Uber. In March, they celebrated their 10th birthday. And 10 years ago, we had smartphones, and we could stand at the corner of First and Main. We could get the map and say, I want to go here, draw the little line, tell us how far it was. We could go to the website of the cab company, get the dispatcher, say, come pick me up. And when we got to destination B, we hand him our charge card. He put the little white thing on the phone. All the pieces of the puzzle were there. Uber customized them and put them in the customer's frame of today and disrupted an entire transportation industry. And I believe that's what's going to happen to the imaging channel, and I want to talk about our puzzle pieces. The first puzzle piece, print is declining. No one's going to argue with that. Good. Another puzzle piece is if you put an A3 machine next to an A4 machine, you're going to have 3 calls on the A3 and you're going to have 1 call on the A4 if they're running the same monthly volume. That's proven by data. It's not made up. That's a very important puzzle piece. Every single manufacturer since they were born, has sold printers direct to end users and hired third-party contractors to service it. Bannisters, all the other people out there, PC Mall, our friends here, Jackie from Field Nation. And I want to really think about that. Why did they do that? They did that because printers don't break. Printers have very few parts. So they're able to say, well, we don't need to have a distribution channel for these. We'll just sell them direct to the end users at global and national accounts, and we'll just hire third-party service to keep all the money. President of HP said he bought Samsung because they make machines with less parts, and they make them with less parts every day. They're one of the greatest manufacturers in the world. And we could debate that, but they are a good manufacturer. Lexmark had their roadshow last year. They took a whole lot of parts out of their machines. And the next generation are going to have a whole lot of parts out of their machines. And I believe the imaging channel today, and I'm not talking about their IT or anything else, I just want to talk about print. There's 3 verticals in that deliverable, and we treat every damn customer the same, and it's absolutely unscalable. We have a high volume deliverable, print shop stuff, wide format stuff, and then about 15% of our customers are complicated. The value add. They're doing paper cut, big enterprise account. Took us a long time to sell it. We had to do all the things right. But my friends, there's 85% of your customers are buying with a commodity mindset, and they've been oversold in A3. They could easily buy an A4, and whoever the hell delivers it to them the way they want it is going to win. This is a reality. We talked about Uber. Think about Hertz. Hertz is damn near bankrupt. And the reason they're bankrupt, the #1 expense item today on any expense report, not dollar-wise, but the #1 entry is Uber. That's globally, by the way. But Hertz still rents the car to the family. Go to grandma's house, they want to load up their brand new SUV. They still rent the car to the guy that has the wreck. I said guy, Jackie. The guy that has the wreck needs to rent a car. But they lost all the middle. And when they lost all the middle, they couldn't live off the fringes. And if the imaging channel doesn't figure out how to deliver each one of those segments profitably, you're not going to be able to live off the fringes. And if you took all this stuff, these A3s, millions of them, all these millions of A3s in the middle of our deliverable, and somebody comes and challenges that, how in the hell are we going to live off the fringes? Because I'll assure you this. These innovators aren't going to give a shit about production print. It's 2% of the market. They don't care about that. They're not going to care about selling a whole bunch of enterprise stuff. Don't let the copier guys do that. They're going to come after the sweet spot. They're going to come after the gravy. And they're going to come fast. And someone recently told me, well, Ray, I don't see how this Staples Dex thing affects my business. I told the guy he was a little delusional, probably should take some aspirin. Because here's what it affects. It affects the board members at Best Buy when they sit in their little glass conference room looking out over Minneapolis. Hey, why don't we put some A4s inside our stores? All we'd have to do is figure out how to service them. Well, Field Nation's right next door. Maybe we should call Jackie. That's not a possibility. That's a probability. It affects the people over at Office Depot that says, well, why the hell should we let Staples do this? Why don't we go find us a mega copier dealer that's got this really big IT business built into it? Because there's probably one of those for sale right now. And we'll buy that, and then that IT company can help CompuCon. And we can compete with them. Well, then Alibaba's probably going to say, well, Office Depot, instead of us doing this little partnership thing, why don't we just buy you? We have billions of dollars, and we'll beat Amazon. Well, that leaves Jeff, his A-team. He's going to tell them to call Sycamore Partners and buy the whole damn thing. And he'll get Staples, he'll get Dex, he'll get the other 2 dealers that are going to buy probably this year. And he'll get Ascendant. He'll have feet on the street, because even though you're in an e-commerce platform, you have to have feet on the street or it doesn't work. And if you think about it, every one of those office supply dealers through Ascendant, all the companies that are in Dex, and most of the people that shop at Staples, I would guarantee you that 80% of those businesses have crap in the Amazon cloud. They're already their customer. And every day they get more and more of their customers. The innovator has enemies, those who have done well in the old conditions and lukewarm defenders. And here's what I challenge all of you. The innovator don't give a shit about the people that live in the past because they know they're going to go away. But what frustrates the innovators is those lukewarm defenders, and when you know your industry's in trouble, and you know you got to make changes, there's not a person sitting in this room, if you're in the print services business, that doesn't realize we've got to make some modifications. We all know that. And these lukewarm defenders will hang around, and they'll be like, oh, we'll wait till the innovator gets close to the wall, and then we'll grab our sword, and we'll go rub it in the blood from the fight and say we were there with you. It's not going to work. It impedes innovation. It impedes it. Niccolo said the prince of his day did not lose his power through misfortune. He lost his power through inaction and indecisiveness. 600 years ago, that's still true. You lose your power through inaction and indecisiveness. And we have to figure out a way to have a call to action, build a damn army, because Ray Stashevsko does not want to be known as the guy that freaking sold copiers. I am obsessed and passionate as hell to be the guy that changed what people bought and how they bought it. And I believe that the end user is dying for a better experience. We're leasing equipment like it's freaking 1980. We're rolling up, doing all these buyouts, all this lunacy, and there's a much better way. We have dealers now talking about no-meter billing. And people talk about no-meter billing, it just freaks me out when they say, well, we can't do no-meter billing, we got to pay for the copies. Well, you're going to pay for the copies. You got the science. We have better data today than we ever had in our lives. There's not a person that sells a copy machine that does not know how many pages a month that customer runs. I mean, and if they don't know, they pretty much ought to find out. 90% of everything the imaging channel sells is their own damn customer. One of the best things to do is ask a dealer, why do people buy from you? And if you talk to the dealer owner, we've been in business for 50 years, we love this community, the community loves us, and by God, they just buy from us. And if you ask the sales rep, why do people buy from you? We save them money. Every time a dealer tells me that, I want to say, okay, you need to fire all your sales reps because every time they sell 90% of your customers, it costs you money. But that's kind of where we're going. You know, I think it was Patricia had a webinar not too long ago. I love the title of it, WTF. I had to practice that a couple times because I actually said it once. But WTF, talking about the Staples thing, one of the analysts brought up the fact that, well, we're kind of in a commodity business. And as soon as the damn word commodity hit, every single person in the room just freaked out. And they get into this massive argument debate, and they actually got the analyst to back down and say, well, that's not all a commodity. You know, just back down when he's right. Because 80% of our business is a damn commodity. And if we don't accept that, we're fooling ourselves. Doesn't mean we don't have any value. It means we better diversify our damn deliverable. Because there isn't any value in 80% of your customers. They want to buy a friggin' printer. You read the headline, Managed Print Services, $50 billion business by 2025. That person is bringing the past to the future. Because in 2025, we're not even going to call it Managed Print Services. Probably going to call it Devices as Service. It's going to be a whole different model. And here's a question I got to ask everybody in this business. When printers actually cost a lot of money, and service was kind of expensive, we couldn't get the SMB space to get into a print management program. They didn't do it. And the reason they didn't do it is because they didn't give a shit. And now, 2019, printers are cheaper every single day. Service is in the toilet. You know, you got a bid, oh, we'll do it at point. I talked to somebody the other day, color, 0.03. Can't go any damn lower. Pretty soon we're going to pay people. We talk about we can't do no-meter billing. Pretty soon we're going to actually pay them to buy the copy machine. So we got to figure out how are we going to transition this. And it's not going to be easy. But I'm telling you, you can allow Staples and Dex to show you the way. That was a strategic buy. They're geniuses. Because they changed the infrastructure. And here's a fear, and I told someone this yesterday. This is a real fear for me in the channel. When you change an infrastructure, the value of what you have drops. So go back to Uber. When Uber disrupted the taxi industry, the medallions used to be $1 million, 400,000. Now they're like 20. Because once the infrastructure changes, they don't need your infrastructure. They just need your customer. They're going to pay a whole lot less for that. And I think we're 2 years away from that. They got $17 billion over there in revenue. And they're going to get more revenue. They're going to get more backers in there. They're going to go up and buy a couple more dealers. These are probabilities. And Office Depot has to respond. And I truly believe Best Buy is going to respond too. Because these people won't look at our business like we do. They're not going to try to do everything. They're going to do the middle. So what I want to do is talk about, I want you guys to ask questions too. But I'm going to ask the panel some questions. You already know who these guys are. Everybody know who these people are up here? Except for Jackie. She's new to the team. I've been, I don't know if y'all know it, but I'm a big LinkedIn guy. But I've been stalking a guy named Manul Khan for 3 years. He's the founder and CEO of FieldNation. Yeah, I am. I'm a stalker. And he has a remarkable company. And Chip, do you use them? Because I know you do IT stuff. Do you ever have to use them for outside territory stuff? Yeah. They are extremely big in the IT space. When I was the CEO of ImageQuest in Nashville, we used them extensively. And anytime we wanted to do an install at another city or another state, we'd hire FieldNation to go in there and do it. They're a multiple of $100 million in revenue. They have 100,000 independent contract technicians in the United States. SP Richards has 2,500 office products resellers. And to give you a little bit of background on office products resellers, there's 2 places in the world that if you're a company that sells office supplies to a customer, that you buy them from. One of them is called Ascendant, which is owned by Staples. The other one is called SP Richards, which is the supplier to Office Depot. Those are the only 2 places those people buy their supplies from. So, of course, the people that are buying them from Ascendant are a little bit concerned because, Staples bought them. How's that going to work? SP Richards, they're concerned because they don't know what's next. Will Office Depot buy them? Who's going to come in and bail Office Depot out? And someone will do it, by the way. But when you look at those channels, between the 2 of those, there's 5,000 companies. So let's do some math. 5,000 companies across the country in every one of your dealerships, in your territories. Let's just be generous and say that they all have 3 salespeople. That's 15,000 salespeople that if somebody taught them how to go and tell the imaging channel's customer that they've been oversold for the last 3 years, that A4 has 1 call to the A3's 3, that their volume's only 4,000 or 5,000 pages a month, not 8. And they just blasted that. And then they started sending all their customers emails about that. That's not a possibility, it's a probability. Because that space is a hell of a lot more scared than we are. They are petrified. And they're petrified of Amazon. And they're petrified of is Office Depot just going to steal our customers? They're petrified because of e-commerce. The other thing that Staples Dex affected tremendously was the manufacturers. It affected the way they're going to distribute equipment. And they might not want to admit it, but it affected it. They're going to have to open up distribution. There's no way around it. And, changing models so you can sell them through another channel, it's a waste of time and a waste of money. They're not going to do it anymore. So we need to prepare for these things, and there is ways to prepare for it, but we got to think way out of the damn box. And, I want to ask Jackie a question. The bottom line, your technicians right now fix printers, correct? Mm-hmm. and they fix a lot of printers, thousands of them. They never really wanted to get into the MFP because they always saw the MFP as the big A3 with the sorter and all this stuff on it, running thousands of pages a month. They didn't want to screw with that crap. They want to sell them a printer and sell them some toner. Well, I know you all know BEI. BEI has almost 5 million devices in their database. Over 50% of those machines are running like 4,000 pages a month. So how do we address that? If we sold them all at A4 and they don't break as much and they got less parts, and you know, also these manufacturers are making the toner last longer. You're going to go out there maybe twice a year. Well, they even buy a service contract. Why would they? James, I want to start with you, and I want you to tell them really what you're doing now. And I want to talk a little bit about your deliverable, because he's on the vertical of the high-end production stuff, which is very interesting.
Okay. So I've been an independent consultant for a bit,